Welcome to the Strategic Briefing, where we cut through surface problems and uncover the moves that top CEOs use to scale with confidence, to see beyond the illusion of productivity, and to get to the real leverage that drives their growth. Your company has never been more organized. You have dashboards, processes, and SOPs for almost everything. But the paradox of this is that the more organized you become, the slower everything feels. Growth doesn't accelerate, sometimes it stalls. Decisions drag, projects take longer, and momentum feels like it's missing. You've built systems to help you grow, and yet somehow they're the very thing holding you back. Most businesses don't break because they lack systems. They stall because their systems stop evolving. What used to make you efficient now makes you rigid. What once simplified your world now slows everything down. You've reached a level where stability and scalability are pulling in opposite directions. It's not your team, it's not your tools, it's the system design itself, built for control when what you need right now is capacity. Here's the core shift today. If your growth feels stuck, it's not effort. It's almost certainly your architecture. You don't need more systems, you need different ones. Because the systems that built your success aren't the same systems that will scale it. Top CEOs understand this moment. They know it's not about adding tools, automation, or dashboards. It's about shifting how systems think and how your organization operates inside them. And so they make three critical shifts that change how they lead, scale, and design their company for sustainable performance. Now, let's start with the first shift from stability to scalability. Most systems are built to prevent chaos. They keep things predictable, safe, and under control. Now, that's good until you want to grow, because stable systems are, by their very nature, resistant to change. They're designed to minimize risk, not to maximize capacity. And here's what happens. Your workflows lock in, approvals multiply, everything feels structured, but it's painfully slow. You're not scaling anymore, you're now protecting. Scalable systems, on the other hand, are designed with motion in mind. They use constraints as leverage, not as limits. Instead of locking in a single workflow, they build pathways that can flex as the business expands. Here's an example. Let's say you have a 3-step approval process for every client quote. Works perfectly when you had 5 project managers. Now that you've got 15, that same process is choking your velocity. The system didn't break, it just never evolved. So what's the fix? Well, you replace linear approvals with decision matrices. You define parameters, maybe margin threshold or client tiers, and you empower your leaders to decide within those limits. You haven't removed control. You've simply built capacity into the system itself. Because scalable systems breathe, they don't suffocate growth, they make room for it. The second shift that top CEOs make is moving from control to capacity, is what we've been discussing. Early on, control feels like leadership. You're in the loop on every deal, every decision, every budget, and for a time that works. Doesn't matter whether you're the owner or one of the leaders in the company, it's the same thing. But control doesn't scale. Eventually, you become the bottleneck. So you start delegating. But even delegation has limits when your system still depends on you to function. The better approach? Build capability into your systems. Capability-based systems don't rely on supervision, they rely on clarity. Everyone knows what good looks like. They understand their guardrails, and they can operate confidently without waiting for direction. Here's a practical difference. In a control system, you approve every proposal before it goes out. In a capability system, you set profit margins and authority limits, and your people handle it for you. Now, that's not giving up control, that's allowing it to scale. You're moving decision making from your desk to the field without sacrificing alignment. Control protects the past, while capability builds the future. And the third shift, the one most CEOs miss out on, is from optimization to evolution. Optimization feels smart. You tighten processes, you automate steps, you cut your waste. And for a while, it works. But optimization is short term efficiency. It's about doing the same thing faster. Evolution is a long term adaptability, about doing the right things next. You can optimize your business into a corner, and at some point, there's nothing left to squeeze, but still plenty left to build. Evolving systems review themselves. They adapt quarterly. They respond to new signals in the market. You're not just optimizing your process, you're upgrading your operating model. Think of it like software. Optimization is patching bugs. Evolution is releasing version 3.0. If you don't evolve your systems, your business becomes a museum of what it used to do and what it used to work like. And you'll hit the ceiling again and again. Because remember, systems don't fail. All too often, they simply freeze. Now, if your business feels organized but heavy, if your growth looks good on paper but feels like friction in real life, it's probably not the market or your team. It's most likely your system design. The question isn't what's missing, it's what hasn't evolved yet. Now, if that sounds familiar and you want to identify exactly which shift your business needs next, book a focus strategy session with me. You'll find a link at the top of the description. In the meantime, remember, stability without evolution is stagnation. Control without capability is constraint. And optimization without evolution, that's just maintenance. So this wraps up this week's strategic briefing, where we focus on the real leverage behind scalable growth. I'm Randy Bridges. Keep moving forward, stay focused, and keep building a business that runs and scales by design.